It's an absolutely beautiful baseball Sunday in Milwaukee. Welcome to Miller Park. All the tailgaters are out there. A lot of Nats fans are finding out this is one of the really fun places to go in the National League and around baseball. To join us on the road, she agrees. And she is ready to split a 4-game series, Bob and FP. And speaking of this series, it's really been something. I know Washington and Milwaukee may not be the most scintillating matchup postseason for a lot of people around the country. I'd love to watch these two battle.
I mean, it's been fun to watch. You know when pitchers are coming back from an injury, you have the simulated games, sim games they call them. Well, when you're 15 games up in your division, almost 30 games over, you need games like this as a ball club. Simulated playoff games, because you're not in a pennant race. You don't really have a whole lot to play for, and all of a sudden a series like this pops up. This is great for the Nats.
And last night, things were really quiet for a long, long time. Brewers throwing some serious starting pitching at the Nats, but Michael A. Taylor finally got it going with that home run.
I mean, first pitch homer, tied the ball game. You're thinking, they need this win. They need to get out of here and snatch one from the Brewers tonight after the 1-0 loss. So all of a sudden, a guy that dominated him the night before, Michael A. comes up, changes everything. This is the sneaky good play of that inning. Wilmer Defoe right behind him laying down a bunt, and then Trey Turner going shopping at the gap with a double, scores Wilmer all the way from first. All of a sudden, you got the 3-2 lead, and then you bring on the doctor, who's been fantastic for the save.
One of my favorite things all year, Sean Doolittle cannot stand to watch the fly ball that Michael A. Taylor caught.
He just let the crowd tell him what happened. It was an awesome ending. It was a great game, and the last 3 nights have been playoff-type baseball.
So these two teams have battled it out. Today we'll decide the season series. Runs per game, average with runners in scoring position. All the categories are really even between Milwaukee and the Nationals. And so we're going to turn the page. Hopefully Max is okay. Still going to have to maybe wait a day or two to see how that calf is feeling. But you handed over to Edwin Jackson lately, and that has not been a problem at all.
No, I mean, the first inning has been, though. So we'll see how Edwin gets through the first. He finds his rhythm. He finds his release point. He's been great.
Edwin is 5-3 with a .294 at 8 starts. So he's had a decision, pitching deep enough into the game, in other words, to have one every time out. 6 as though they have been quality starts. He does have a losing career record against Milwaukee. He knows them, they know him. Great matchup today. Miller moment for you, maybe a half-mile away from the ballpark here. Milwaukee, Wisconsin, home of the Brewers and the Milwaukee Ball Club, 38-32 at home. The Nats on the road, 42-26. All right, it all starts with starting pitching. Going to be a few shadows as the afternoon goes along. NFP, the starters lately have been outstanding, 11 out of 18 decisions.
Yeah, look at the ERA, 2.38. Opponent's average is really impressive, and they're keeping the ball in the park. And for Edwin Jackson, he's been equally impressive. He's allowed a .212 on-base percentage over the last month, so he's not allowing guys on. He's throwing strikes. The first inning, he's having trouble getting into that rhythm, so we'll keep an eye on Edwin in the first inning today. But once he settles in, he's been really, really good.
Brent Suter has been in the bullpen and also has made 9 starts for Milwaukee. A lefty who doesn't throw hard. He's going to have to finesse his way through this one.
Yeah, fastball average is 84. He works really, really fast, so we'll keep an eye on that. 31st round draft pick out of Harvard, where he majored in environmental science and public policy, so he's super, super smart.
And he may have to be brilliant to get Trey Turner out. 5 games since his return. Trey 5 hits for them for extra bases. He has stolen 3 bases and scored 4 runs, so he's the igniter. And in the case of last night, the guy who actually got the game-winning RBI. Turner and the Nats against the Brewers. Straight ahead from Wisconsin. Brought to you by PNC Bank, for the achiever in you. Beautiful day at Miller Park. Outdoor baseball. We love it. The roof is open. Mostly clear skies. A little hazy. Tailgaters still wrapping up their afternoon activities. They'll all be in here by about the top of the second or so. Spectacular day in Wisconsin. Humidity down just under 80. Some breezes blowing. Wind not often a factor in this ballpark. And the forecast is for great baseball. The Nats. Turner, Defoe, Murphy, Zimmerman, Rendon, Kendrick. And then comes Michael A. Taylor, the big blow last night. So 10 for 29. A homer and 3 RBIs. And that was a massive, towering home run he hit off the fastball of John Hader last night. That was really something. So here is 28-year-old lefty Brent Suter, 4-4 career, 30 games. This will be his 12th big league start.
Yeah, over the last month, his fastball's averaged just 84. He throws a lot at 71% of the time. He's coming off the disabled list. He was on there 8-13, had a left rotator cuff strain. His last major league start was the 12th against Cincinnati. No decision. Gave up 5 runs in 5 innings through 100 pitches. The defense for the Brewers today. Beautiful day for baseball here, by the way. Braun, VR, Santana, the outfield. Arcia Shaw, left side. Walker Thames, right side. And Manny Pena back behind the plate. He's had a little hip injury that he's been getting over and back in the lineup today.
Brewers a game and a half behind Colorado, still in the wild card race after both lost last night. They are still chasing the Cubs, 4.5 back. Here we go. First pitch. Right in there on time at 1:10 Central. Trey Turner in the series. 4 hits, 2 RBIs, 2 stolen bases. And on that check swing, it's 0-2. 8-year veteran Vic Carapazza behind the plate. Crew chief Tom Hallion at first base. There he is. Mark Ripperger and Phil Cuzzi, second and third.
You better hurry through those umpires. This guy's working fast.
He's pitching like he's got his own tailgate party at about 3:30 this afternoon.
There was an at-bat this year where he faced Aaron Judge in Yankee Stadium, and Judge refused to step out of the box. He just stayed in there and kind of hovered over the plate, saying, if you want to work this fast, let's do this. So Suter, a guy that gets it and goes, and I think it's up to the hitter to hit on their own terms. If you feel like he's rushing you and things are going too quick, step out.
Chicago native, as FP said, he went to Harvard.
His dad was a safety on Joe Paterno's 1982 national championship team. So
how about that? Tapper left side. Stays fair. It's a hit. So game 4 of this series. Game notes for you. The Nats bullpen overall 15 for 16. Sean Doolittle 14 for 14. Edwin Jackson 4 straight quality starts in 6 of his 8. And the Brewers 12 of their last 18. ERA pretty good, and their pitchers have been dealing. We have found that out. They got some arms, some really power arms on this staff. Not the case today, and the count goes 3-2. Trey has walked 21 times this year. That's outside, and that's not the way any pitcher in baseball wants to start a game. Count was 0-2, and he lost it.
Little Red Bull for the skipper. A lot of Red Bull for the pitcher. And now we'll see if Trey Turner decides to go here. Pena could really throw.
Yeah, he's at 35% caught stealing. So Turner gets a throw over and gets a look at Suter's move.
Pretty big lead for Trey. Bigger than usual. A little slippage going back.
Yeah, the cutouts of the grass are kind of unusual here. They're not like a true arc. Kind of a straight line, and then it curves. There you see it.
Shortened up a little. All right, you come over 4 times, you got me, and you got 1 out. Gamble and go. Why not? How many times do you see a guy throw over 4 times in a row? StatCast, powered by AWS, is going to show you Trey Turner going back to the base.
Why is everybody looking into the Milwaukee dugout?
They want to see if he was out on the last pickoff. I think they're checking in the clubhouse.
Okay.
I'm telling you, go. Flip a coin and go.
He does. And that ball's bunted up in the air, and it's a good thing it's not catchable. That would have been a double play.
Wilmer's got to see that. I mean, he's hitting right-handed, right? So the base stealer's in your vision. And if you see a base stealer get a jump like that, you just pull the bat back and let him steal second. Trey Turner went first move. He's got this bag ripped. He was betting he wasn't coming over 4 times, and it worked. And then Wilmer bunts. I mean, you got to hear people yell runner, and you got to see it out of the corner of your eye, and you have to know who's on first base not to bunt that ball and take a pitch for Turner.
Yeah, now the whole thing resets on an 0-1 count. Now Wilmer's in a pickle, 0-2. I mean, could you expect maybe a Breaking ball in the dirt here on a good pitch. I know 0-2 can be a good running count from time to time.
Right, well, you had him set up. The lefties rarely throw over 4 times. And yeah, Wilmer's a young player. It's a learning experience for him. And I'm sure Dusty will say something when he gets back to the bench. Not the worst thing in the world. He had a good intention of laying down the bunt and getting a base hit like he did last night.
Inside the Numbers brought to you by Jeep on Wilmer. Since July 1st, look at the list of hitters hitting higher for average than him. It's an amazing bunch of company he's in. 1-2 and a pitch up. He strikes out. And Suter coming home pretty quickly. Trey hasn't been able to motor on the last 2 pitches. And now Murphy coming in. How you moving around, Mex? How you feeling? Maybe tight, I guess, for a while, huh? The Nats haven't announced officially who's pitching tomorrow in Miami. It was Steven Strasburg's turn. He's listed for Tuesday with Gio Wednesday.
It's Miami. What's Livan Hernandez doing tomorrow?
Levo, can you come out for 80 pitches and throw some swing back fastballs and some 68-mile-an-hour curves?
You probably could.
Field your position a couple of times. That one fading inside. 1-1 to Murphy. 2 for 10, 2 walks this series. Only one Nats batter has ever faced this lefty, and that's Howie Kendrick. Right off the end of the bat to the third baseman. Shaw playing way off the line. Turner to second on the second out. Now the battered up Ryan Zimmerman.
This is Friday. Got hit on the tricep. This is Saturday, almost the same spot. And watch. That one on the left got him real good. And then yesterday it was close. Almost the same spot. That would have been great. Watch. Do we have the captions? Almost the same spot. That would have been good. That would have been great. We did our homework before the broadcast today.
You folks, you can only do this if you have a certified lip reader in the booth, and we do. Well done, guys. Ryan's going to get a base hit if that stays fair. So it does. And Trey Turner was arriving at the bag just as the ball was, so Shaw had to try to tag him. He had no chance to get Ryan. 2 on, 2 out.
Do the Brewers look at this, and is Trey Turner safe? So I think it's a hit. Mark it down. There goes the no-hitter. But watch this at third. It gets weird. Does he tag Trey Turner before he touches the base? No, his foot's there. It stayed on, too. All right, runners at the corners for Anthony Rendon, and that is a beautiful thing for Ryan Zimmerman, and he kept his toe on the base.
And Travis Shaw had to pick that up. If you let it hit the base and Trey Turner's standing there, it wouldn't have to get too far away before he'd go home. So the Nats get a nice little break there. They certainly got bled by a couple of Milwaukee hits of that nature in this series. And here's Anthony Rendon looking for his first RBI here in Milwaukee this year. One for 7 with a walk. 374, 4th best in the National League with runners in scoring position. They play Anthony pretty straight away. Milwaukee, with their power pitchers going in the first 3 games, seemingly played all of the Nats to the other side. This guy doesn't throw as hard, so they're more straight up. Curveball, good take. Ball 2. Ooh, look out. Ooh. They don't have screens here right over the dugouts, and that one went rocketing into the seats. So it's Murphy number 1 and Rendon down there in the number 5 spot. This one out to short for Arcia. To Walker. That's gone. A walk and a hit, 2 stranded. And now Edwin Jackson against the Brewers. Bottom of the first inning. Edwin Jackson against this Milwaukee lineup. They're 10th in hitting, 11th in runs, 3rd in homers. Ryan Braun has seen Edwin a lot. 36 career at bats, 40 plate appearances, 12 hits, 4 walks, but 7 strikeouts, a homer, 4 RBIs. So Craig Counsell, he's got a lot of different guys. He goes in and out of the starting lineup every day. Jackson, 17th start against Milwaukee.
There's the arsenal with the velocities. A fastball 48% of the time, slider 25. 8-3 win last start to improve to 5-3 with a 2.94. That was against the Marlins. Gave up 3 runs in 6 innings through 102 pitches.
There's Jonathan VR. 1 for 4 career against Edwin. And right now Milwaukee's best hitter, 10 for his last 18. Including 6 for 11 against the Nats. Last night he started in center field like he does today. Later in the game, Keon Broxton came in for defense. And then after the Nats took the lead, Craig Counsell hit for the guy who came in for defense. So they had 3 guys at several different positions last night. It's going to be a nice hop for Daniel Murphy, who scoops to Zimmerman for the first out.
Defense for the Nats today. Kendrick Taylor Defoe, the outfield. Keep an eye on Wilmer in right. Turner Rendon left side. Murphy Zimmerman right side. Jose Lobaton behind the plate. Wilmer had that sneaky good bunt last night to kind of keep the momentum on their side before the Trey Turner double.
Nats will shift on Walker. Hitting .267 left-handed since coming here. And he has seen Edwin a lot. 5 for 22.
Yeah, Edwin with a 7.88 ERA in the first and a 3.53 average against. That's where we're talking about getting out of the first, getting into the rhythm early.
And FP, because of the nature of this ballpark, the shadows will be in the batter's box by the end of the first inning. And then the hitters and the left fielder will have some things to deal with almost all afternoon. I mean, that roof is so high. Yeah, there's the numbers backing up FP's assessment.
Yeah, but then the second inning, he's got a 1.12 ERA, same ERA in the third, a 1.04 in the fourth. So, and the average against goes way down in all those innings.
1-2 here. Change up. Edwin Jackson, 36 K in 50 innings.
He only throws that pitch 5% of the time. Might have been a curveball that just backed up, looking at it a couple of times, but it acted like a changeup and it acted like strike 3, so that's all that counts.
Mercedes-Benz on the pitch cast. And here's that long-standing matchup between Braun and Jackson. We've talked all weekend about putting the inside fastball in the minds of hitters, and then where do you take it from there?
Away. Ryan's tricep on his left arm has had a real tough series. Dusty wasn't too happy about it yesterday. He got drilled again.
In there to Braun on 2-0. Braun 1 RBI in this series. 978 career. Inside out swing out of play to the lower bowl right side. Edwin career looking for win number 99. He's got a milestone ahead soon. It's his 284th career start. Two-two pitch. This will be close, and now out of play. Ryan Zimmerman over to have a look. Two-two, target low and away.
Trying to get that slider down away to make it look like a fastball away and break it off. You see the pitch cast, everything kind of in so far to Braun. And he's swinging.
Mike Maddox, Dusty presiding over the pitching staff. We showed you this graphic before the game. 3.45 starters ERA. Only the Dodgers better. And it's close at 3.39 in all of the major leagues. Two-two. 15 pitches in the inning, and most of them to this guy.
Definitely in swing mode. See if you can expand the zone. You got a pitch to play with here before the full count. Maybe he'll go with you if you leave that box.
Here's pitch number 9 of the at bat. Playable. High in the air right field line. Into the shadow goes Wilmer Difo. And a 1-2-3 first. That's great news for Edwin Jackson and the Nats.
fan. Nope, I'm a Washington Brewers fan. Nope, I'm just a baseball fan. Who cares? Gear up for the excitement of October baseball. Big weekend series coming. Dodgers, in case you haven't heard, 705-105-808 on Sunday. Go to nationals.com for tickets and details. That's going to be a fun one.
Dodgers magic number the same as the Nats. The possibility of a double clinching situation in our ballpark that weekend. It could happen.
Whoa.
I wonder if that's ever happened anywhere before. I mean, that's kind of crazy. Ball hit to left by Howie Kendrick, and Ryan Braun in that Sunfield out there for the first out.
You mean the same day they could, right?
It could happen.
With a loss and a win?
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be strange.
Would that be nuts?
It would just be a big party on the field.
And by the way, if you are a student or an alum of Howard University, well done yesterday. You guys should be jumping up and down. Bison winning in football at UNLV. They were 45-point underdogs. And I know that's a great school, fantastic academics, social life, everything over the years. But now, young Mr. Newton and the Bison, an historic day in all of college football for what they did yesterday. Congrats. Michael A. Taylor in the series 4 for 10 with that big homer last night. And if you had Howard and Maryland both winning on the road yesterday, enjoy your life of luxury. You're probably rich and you can retire.
Yeah, fear the turtle. How about that?
The turtle and the bison.
That was the most entertaining game of the day.
Taylor over the pitcher, but they had the second baseman playing up the middle and Neil Walker forward to get it. If he has to go laterally, that's a base hit. 2 quick outs here. Things happening quickly with Brent Suter throwing today.
But he's on a short leash. You know, Craig Counsell said it's going to be kind of a bullpen day for the Brewers. He's got that rotator cuff strain. You kind of see him stretching it out right there. So I'm hearing 2 or 3 innings for the left-hander, and then we'll see what Counsell decides after that.
Jose Lobaton, 152, right-handed. Oh for 4 in the series with a base on balls. Brent Suter pitching like he's double parked. His second strikeout and 2 scoreless innings under his belt.
Rifo getting the start in right field. When he played right field this Tuesday, that marked the first time in Wilmer's life that he had played right field. Not in spring training, not in the minor leagues, not at home growing up in the Dominican. And I asked Wilmer about the experience of playing a new position the other day. He said, I don't care. I just want to play. when it comes to his recent experience in the outfield, Defoe says he prefers center field to either of the corner spots because he can really run out there, and it's easier to read balls off the bat in center field than it is in left or right. FP, you can probably comment on your personal experience there as well. But he's good wherever Dusty wants to play him, guys, and Dusty is determined to keep getting Wilmer at bats, calling him his sixth man like in basketball. A very valuable guy for this club.
Yeah, he had 2 putouts Tuesday night. In fact, D. Gordon's first batted ball of the game found him out there. And his first time up. He did okay, doubled and scored. Dan with our Coons.com sideline report. Travis Shaw, the hitter. 0-1 pitch. Counts even. And when you're talking Cars, you're talking Coons. And a ball pulled. Ryan Zimmerman to his right. He'll scoop it and go to the bag. And for Edwin Jackson, 2 ground balls, 4 straight retired to start his day.
Well, I think center field's the most fun because, number one, you're the captain out there, and if you call it, you got it. No matter where the ball is, line to line, if you call it, it's yours. Number 2, center field's educational in the sense that you can get an idea of an umpire's strike zone while you're standing out there on defense because you got a great look at it, right? You're looking into the strike zone all night long. And you're seeing, well, this ump's a little wide away. He's a little wide inside. He's got a high zone. So you're watching the game from center. You got a great seat for that. And number 2, or 3, the balls don't tailor hook as much in center field as they do on the corners. You're really not going to throw anybody out at home from center unless you got a cannon like Michael A. Taylor. I think the throw from left is the easiest throw. And then right field's fun with a runner on first trying to throw guys out at third. So
high and deep to left center. Way out of here by Son Santana, Domingo Santana. A towering home. 1-0 Milwaukee. His 23rd, drives in run number 67.
That's a big boy, Tater. Ooh. This hit the Pepsi sign. Watch the Pepsi logo. Doink right below it. 435 is where it stopped. And if you're going to give them up like that. Better than a wall scraper. It's only a solo shot, not a big deal.
Big time buzz in the crowd after what they just saw. Here's Thames. Be careful to him. He hasn't done a whole lot since that amazing April. He's been pinch hit for it lately, and some of the Brewers guys told me it's very simple. He's just been an all or nothing hitter, striking out or the occasional home run. He's hit 17 since the end of April, but that's a long time ago. Now Jackson has him 0-2. Good heater there. In this series, Thames 1 for 2 with a run batted in. So the 1-2 count. Nats in a shift. Rendon out at short. There's Edwin's 10th homer given up in 50 and a third innings as a Nat. Pop up left side. Hustling over there, Lobaton, because he knows how far away Rendon is. And look how far he goes to grab it with the infield in a shift.
Nice play, Blondie. He had to go a long ways for that. Anthony Rendon was playing shortstop, like you said, and that's not an easy play. With gear on, running that far, and then going basket catch. And the ball kind of popped out. He snagged it again, going toward the dugout. I'm sure he's getting a lot of help from the players in there telling him he's got room. Nice play, Jose Lobaton.
We never talk about catcher's range. That was pretty impressive. Here's Manny Pena, and he pops one up right side. Wilmer Difo about where he caught Ryan Braun's fly ball last inning. And so Edwin Jackson comes back to get 2 hitters quickly. Santana's monster home run puts the Brewers on top.
Is back Sunday, September 10th. Nats Phillies 1:35 start. You get a ticket, you get a yoga mat, and you enjoy a post-game yoga class. That's a great deal. Visit Nationals.com/special ticket yoga in the outfield.
He'd done several routines before that ball by Santana came down. So top 3: Jackson, Turner, Difo for the Nats. Brent Suter has a 1-0 lead. Edwin with the bat, 2 for 14. He's a good hitter, 172 career, a couple of home runs. Jonathan Villar is really shallow in center. Santana the same in right.
Edwin trying to go deep. I like it.
Yeah, if he gets any kind of wood on a fly ball to center, it's a double. That curveball got in on his hands. Probably a slider, 84. A lot of break on it. And a 2-hopper over to Neil Walker. First time through the order, the Nationals go 1 for 8 with a walk to Turner and an infield hit.
But last night in the 8th inning, after Michael A. Taylor went deep, Wilmer Difo laid down a base hit bunt. Trey Turner hit that one. Give the Nats a 3-2 lead. So a clutch double from Trey. And the game winner. It wasn't a tater off Hader. Just a double. It's only the 3rd time Hader's gone back-to-back nights all season, and he wasn't as sharp as he was Friday.
Turner, this one out to the gap in left center and off the bottom of the wall. Things stayed in the air for a while. Trey's going to make a turn at second and stop there. So he continues his extra base hit thing. That's 5 extra base hits out of his last 6 hits total.
Leg kick, nice and slow, catches it out front, almost like the highlight we just showed you. Doink off the fence, and he was thinking about 3. Boy, he makes the base pass look so short.
Doesn't he, though? I just noticed on that replay, He was at first base when we heard the sound of the ball hitting the wall. So he was, as you said, thinking 3 until they stopped him. It is so fun to watch. Defoe struck out on a pitch upstairs first time. He's really on his legs here, presenting a pretty small strike zone. 0-2. Choked up a little bit on that bat, maybe an inch or so to the bottom of his hand. I guess 2 inches if you include the knob. And that one floats up and away, ball 1. Walker had his hand out pointing at the bag as he made his way over there for the throw.
Nice quiet crowd right now. You can hear your third base coach yelling back.
Defoe couldn't get enough on it. Into the glove of Walker, 2 outs. Best guy with runners in scoring position coming up. And against left-handers, the Nats, seems like the last couple of years, they've been up among baseball leaders. Against left-handed pitching, 18-10 against starters this year. All brought to you by Jeep.
The Dodgers' kryptonite last year was left-handers.
They've lost 7 of their last 8 now.
Not so much this year with.
Diamondbacks have won 9 straight. Cleveland 10. Some hot October-bound ball clubs right now in each league. So Murphy, 417 with runners in scoring position. Cleveland ahead again today, 5-1 at Detroit.
Yeah, Murphy lately's been kind of coming out of his crouch and finishing on his front side, and you know he'll do that from time to time on something down the way with the Wade Boggs swing. But when he's locked, he gets that lean back going, and his base and his foundation is sturdy.
That's a fair ball. Bare hand Pena. Nats are gone in the 3rd, and Trey Turner's been stranded twice. Once at 3rd, once at 2nd. 1-0 Brewers.
See this lady behind this guy. We'll show her. We'll get you there in a second.
Yeah, maybe the greatest helmet we've ever seen.
Yeah.
When you have insight, you know how to handle your finances with confidence. Eddie Romero, brought to you by PNC Bank. For the achiever in you, so with Syracuse, 7 games in his rehab. He's been back since the rosters expanded Friday. Got 6 1/3 under his belt.
Check this out. Is that the greatest thing ever? It's half a Brewers helmet and half a Packers helmet with half a face mask. That's
awesome.
Is spectacular.
Green Bay, 121 miles north of here.
Only here, man. The chin strap, too. That's wonderful. Do they have a Nats Redskin thing like that? Yeah, I'm a Packers fan. I'm a Brewers fan.
Very cool. Well thought out, well executed. Arcia levels off and fouls it back. Bottom of the 3rd underway. Edwin, 29 pitches, 23 strikes. And first pitch strikes. 7 of 8. Nice. Arcia, the pitcher, and then VR. Orlando Arcia in this series, 1 for 6, 2 walks.
You know, I'm thinking if you're sitting by her and you come in that row, you come in on the football side, she might tackle you.
On the baseball side, she might brush you back.
Yeah, she might break up a double play the other way.
Line drive right at Ryan Zimmerman.
But if it's me, I'm coming in on the baseball side, just in case. She doesn't have like safety blitz on her mind.
Well, not sure if anything other than a pitch count is going on here. Jeremy Jeffress and one of their 4 catchers, Andrew Susak, will be the pinch hitter here. So they get 3 pretty good innings out of Brent Suter. 43 pitches, 31 strikes. Susak has faced Edwin before, 1 for 2 career, and hit a homer against him. Matt Garza, today was his turn, but he's been hit hard lately, including his last time out in this ballpark earlier this week against St. Louis, who scored double-digit runs in that game. So they skipped over him today and taking a bullpen approach to Game 4 of this series. Check swing, and he strikes him out.
Nice 3-0 comeback by Edwin.
Second K, first time through the order. They go 1 for 9 with the homer. Nissan on the pitch cast.
So 3-0 count, gets it to 3-2, and then strikes out Susak with it. Looks like a cut fastball down the way. It's a little 3-0 no panic by a veteran pitcher.
Top of the order, Jonathan VR with the bases empty.
Going to bring that with him toward Daniel Murphy, but the pitch was away and he pulled it back.
Hitter started his hands, stayed back, 2-1.
Pretty good pitch.
And a ball drilled to center. Taylor, one jab step back and then didn't have to move. 1, 2, 3 for Edwin. 5 in a row since he gave up the homer to the middle innings in Milwaukee. 1-0. Fourth inning of Nationals baseball brought to you by the all-wheel drive RAV4. Toyota, what drives you? Visit buyatoyota.com for great deals. Yeah, popcorn goes great with brats. 1-1-0 Brewers on the Santana homer, 0-2-0 Nats. And they'll face right-hander Jeremy Jeffress, who will make a fourth inning appearance out of their bullpen. A bunch of the Nationals have faced him before, and first up will be Ryan Zimmerman. Jeffress this year has logged with the Brewers 10 innings in 10 ball games, 39 over in the American League, where he was with the Rangers for a while before coming back here. Ryan Zimmerman 0 for 1 against him.
Jeffress fastball curveball change. Fastball averages 94. Yeah, I would have got the arsenal to you quicker, but I think the internet is just getting to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I mean, great people, great food. They have so much fun. We love coming here. Bad internet. That's your Milwaukee scouting report.
1-1. Big hook outside. Beautiful day in Wisconsin. Roof open at Miller Park. BCFP DK. Welcome back, Dan. And it's a 1-0 Brewers lead after 3. Ryan Zimmerman on a close one will take the walk. Already extended his hitting streak to 7 games in the first inning.
Celebrate the start of the new school year with, get this, 50% off tickets to the Nats Braves series. That's the 12th through the 14th, obviously at Nats Park. Simply visit nationals.com/tickets and use promo code SCHOOL to get you're 50% off. Some restrictions may apply.
Anthony Rendon pulled one to short first time. And against this right-hander, 2 for 3 career. So in the bottom of the first, the shadow reached home plate. Now 3 innings later, covering a little more than half the infield. Right back to the pitcher. 1, 4, 3. Brewers are 3rd in the National League in double plays with 142.
Hey, Anthony wasn't getting down the line real quick. Had kind of a noticeable limp, actually. Hope he's okay. Hey, Jeffers took his time, a nice feed. And he looked like he was running about as fast as he felt comfortable running, meaning he was feeling something.
And this one pulled to the left side. Big hop for Travis Shaw. That's got a leadoff walk. And then the double play. Middle of the 4th. 1-0.
As we go to the bottom of the 4th inning, really only been one thing to talk about, and that's Domingo Santana's 23rd home run. It was a far one. Ball just kind of hung up out over the plate. He caught it out front and gave it a big-time ride. So the Geico highlight's going to show you the exit velocity, the distance. Look where it hit up on that Pepsi sign on the scoreboard. So 435 feet.
And their bullpen reacted like they haven't seen a whole lot of balls hit up there before. So here's Edwin, 41 pitches, 29 strikes through 3. It's the only hit he's given up. Walker, Braun, and Shaw, 2, 3, 4 here. Neil Walker struck out swinging first time. That ball is laced out to left center. And that's going to bang off the wall. Looked like it was a little more than halfway up. And Neil Walker has his second hit of the series. A homer and now a double.
Do they have microphones in the fence here? Every time the ball hits the wall, it's a loud thud.
Yeah.
They have built-in microphones in the padding. Listen to it. I mean, you heard it, right?
Nice.
Sound like my head hitting the pillow last night. Same sound.
There's Braun. Fly ball to shallow right first time.
We could try to move him at least. We're going to try to throw him in and let the games begin.
That's a great swing. And the ball slicing away from Wilmer Depot will put Milwaukee up 2-0. Ryan Braun, second RBI of this series. Back-to-back doubles in the fourth.
But playing the game the right way. Look where Jose set up and look where the pitch is. So about a two-glove mistake from Edwin. He's trying to get that in so Braun can't do it. You just saw. He yanked the fastball across the plate, and Braun, professional hitter, does a nice job of not only getting him over, got him in, and got a double for himself. That was, as you said, a pretty swing.
There's Travis Shaw, the left-handed hitter. First time up, Shaw pulled a grounder to Ryan Zimmerman. And with the shift on in pull mode here, and that grounder will go foul. Over to Carlos Subero, the first base coach. Travis Shaw had a great series in D.C. Looking for his first base hit against the Nationals this weekend. Didn't play Thursday night when Gio started.
Tell you one thing, Craig Counsell's club does not get cheated at the plate. These guys are wailing, all of them. That's good when you're locked in. Probably hard to watch when they're not, but yeah, starting with that guy last time and these swings you're seeing, these guys do not get cheated.
1,333 strikeouts this year, the most in baseball by a big margin. But they're like a lot of ball clubs we see now. They do a lot of damage. Or the Mets strike out a lot. They hit a ton of home runs. 196. The Brewers now have 194.
If that's all your offense is bringing to the table, though, it's a rough ride because it's either real good or real bad. It's not conducive to consistency over 6 months.
And sometimes FP, and I'd say more than sometimes, oftentimes, not a good recipe for October.
But for a lot of reasons, you're facing the best pitching. It's cold. The ball doesn't carry anymore. The best bullpens too. So I mean, it's nice if it's one way a team can beat you, but if it's the only way a team can beat you, I feel like that's hard to watch for 6 months. Nats can beat you in a lot of different ways. They can beat you with speed, base hits, walks, home runs.
Yeah, the Brewers have 3 hits today, all extra bases. Homer, 2 doubles. 2-2 to Shaw. Got him up in the zone. And he'll have a word with Vic Carapazza on the height of that pitch as he walks away. Mercedes-Benz pitch cast.
Up and in. Edwin will take it.
It's a big out because the runner did not advance. Travis Shaw is 0 for 10 in this series. Here comes Santana, who hit one a mile last time. Young slugger, just turned 25 in August.
Yeah, I don't know if you avoid him with first base open here, but you're definitely going to be a little more careful to him than you were last time, even though you have a lefty and Thames on deck. Just try to execute your pitch and hope he'll expand his zone.
Good numbers with runners in scoring position. About 2/3 of his RBIs right there. 1 out and a 1-1 pitch. Trying to launch another one. Foul tipped into Lobitone's mitt.
Cut fastball. Nice pitch.
And this one left center. How far is this baby going? And he's hit 2 of them. When they make contact, they do damage, these Brewers, and it's 4-0.
Maybe the same pitch he hit out first time. Now that was a fastball. It looked like a backup slider initially, but that was 94. I think Edward was trying to dart that cutter down the way again. He left it over the plate. So he tried to repeat strike 2 for strike 3, and he got too much plate. And for the second time, Domingo Santana made him pay.
There's Eric Thames with 1 out, 3 runs in. So now they're up to 195 team home runs. That's 185, but they've given up 165. And right now, Vic Carapazza liking that high strike.
Liking the inside strike to lefties. So it was a right pitch. The strike before this was a cutter down away. Look at the third pitch. He wants to replicate that third pitch in the same location. You see where Jose was setting up. You see where the pitch ended up. He wanted that down away. Arm probably trailing a little bit. He left it up out over. But it was the right idea, just the wrong location.
One-two pitch coming to Thames.
I'm telling you, with the roof open and the windows open, the ball's flying here today. And
it is
a long way to go in this ball game. And if Craig Counsell's ball club is going to be a bullpen day, you have a chance if you keep it at 4. I don't know if the wind's a factor, but something's going on. And I can't remember too many games where we've seen the roof and the windows and everything open here. This is a great look.
Nice off-speed pitch. Looked like a slider down for strikeout number 4 in the second out here in the 4th inning. Yeah, we were talking before the game, FP and I, about the ballparks that when the roof is open seem like bona fide outdoor parks. And we rank this one right up there with Seattle with the giant carport up there.
It's gorgeous.
There's a great look in from right center field. Houston, you even with the roof open, you kind of feel like you're still in an indoor facility, and Arizona's like that. Toronto's like that.
Have we ever seen the roof open in Miami? I can't remember a game with the roof open there.
No. Considering the way the weather was here last night, it was a great night on which to play a ball game, and what a ball game it was.
We see the roof open in Marlins Park after the game. They open up the windows and the roof to get sun on the field, and that place looks totally different.
Yeah. High in the air. Shorter left center for Howie Kendrick. So the Brewers have a big inning. Michael A. Taylor had a big fly last night. He's got a bunch of base hits since coming back. 10 for his last 30. Taylor, Lobaton, then the pitcher spot, top 5. Straight ahead.
Long way to go on this one. Nats trying to jump back in, and right here, right now. Washington, D.C. Lexus dealers donate $250 to the Children's National Health System for the first 200 home runs hit by the Nats this year. Lexus, experience amazing.
Michael A. Taylor, and maybe a telling stat on him. This year he has 13 home runs. 4 of them have been in the 8th inning, so he's been a late game clutch power hitter for the Nats on several occasions. And I remember almost every one of those being in game situations, not way behind or way ahead.
Well, it started with his walk-off home run at the ballpark of the Palm Beaches in the first game.
Now that was huge.
It was huge.
Yeah, first game ever there, and he christened the ballpark beautifully right up the road from his hometown.
That seems like 4 years ago.
Well, this is game number 136 for the boys today. A lot of snap on that Jeffress breaking ball. Michael A. 0 for 1 against him career. Jeffress 10 pitches, 4 strikes. That's because of the double play ball after the walk last inning. And to the right side, Eric Thames. All right, Dan, what's up with the catchers? Because Matt Wieters appears to be a little beat up.
He is, Bob. Third straight start for Jose Lobaton. Matt Wieters telling reporters earlier on today it's actually a little bit of back tightness that he's battling right now. Something that kind of happens over the course of a long season. Says he's not very concerned about it. Expects to be back in there tomorrow. But again, guys, the benefit of the Nationals having this big lead in the division. Wieters saying he hasn't really had that down the stretch in the past. He's kind of had to play through some things. But with a 15-game lead, you can give your starting catcher a few days off.
Thank you, sir. First pitch, Lobaton. And Jose in this series now 0 for 6. Arcia throws him out.
I always thought as a hitter it was tough when you faced a team on a bullpen day. Because as a big league hitter, you can set guys up. You know what they did to you last time. You know what they're thinking about doing to you next time based on your first at-bat. But when you're facing a different pitcher every at-bat, you don't have that luxury. So it's just kind of like 4 pinch hits when you're facing 4 pitchers in a game. You don't know what they're going to do to you. You know, face a starting pitcher 3 times, you have a pretty good idea of your game plan, you know, at bat to at bat and pitch to pitch.
Looks like Wei Chung Wong will be next in line for Milwaukee. Edwin Jackson bouncing ball to Neil Walker at second. First time up. Edwin has thrown 65 pitches, 46 strikes. That was a long 4th inning for him. 24 to get through the inning. Target away on 1 and 2, and that one misses down and in. And I'm sure the Brewers fans doing some scoreboard watching. Arizona just underway at Colorado. Rockies are reeling. They've lost 3 straight. D-backs have won 9 in a row. Swing and a miss. 5th inning's over. And maybe the 2-inning stint for Jeffress as well. 4-0 Milwaukee. Last night, Max Scherzer line drive, first inning, turned out to be the third out, right off the calf muscle, FP. And the evening got really complicated for him after that.
Well, it was a gutty performance. I mean, that's one tough hombre. He said landing on the mound with his stride wasn't a problem like we speculated it might be. It was just running, period. So the landing thing didn't get him. It was having to field comebackers, cover first, back up bases, run down the line. And, I mean, that's what we've come to love about Max, is you know he's going to go full tilt every fifth day.
And then on the nightcap of a split doubleheader on May 14th against the Phillies, 6th inning, Daniel Nava pinch hitting, and Max really went down, and actually went down twice.
Yeah, that one was hard to watch, and that one scared us more than last night. Last night you just knew, hey, a calf, it's going to get tight, and it's not going to get better, it's going to get worse. That one, you're wondering on the kneecap or the knee, was there some serious damage done? But he'd stay in the game, not shocked. I mean, we know he's tough, and we know when it's his day, it's his day. So, I mean, a gutty effort by Max last night, and he said he loved it. He loved to pitch through the pain last night. I mean, that's just the kind of guy he is. It's a challenge for him, right? Another challenge. Yeah, I'll pitch with one leg. Bring it on.
Yeah, he was taken out of that game after 6 innings against the Phillies. Nats came back to win it 6-5. He got a no decision that evening. Tough as nails. Bottom 5, Arcia. And then the pitcher's spot, followed by VR for the Brewers here. Now that some hitters know that high strikes are being called, seen a few of them go fishing upstairs. There's Brett Phillips, who will hit for Jeffress. Out to short and scooped up by Trey Turner.
So his exact quote was, I'd rather be out there competing in pain than to be on the DL. For me, today was fun. Today was fun to be out there having to pitch through that. Who says that? Just, that guy doesn't have an excuse for anything ever, and he takes adversity and makes it a challenge and makes it a game, his own personal game. Watch me, I'm going to pitch through this and deal.
So here's Brett Phillips, 1 for 3 career against Edwin Jackson. So Jeffress goes 2 scoreless innings. A walk, a strikeout, a double play ball. Looks like next in line will be Jacob Barnes. To the right side, Zimmerman. To Jackson. 2 outs.
Peanuts are now accepting deposits for 2018 full and half season ticket plans. Secure your 2018 ticket package today and lock in 2017 pricing for this early bird discount. We're going to sit here on this network and read Peanut promos all off season long. We're just going to come on and read those even after the year's over.
It's catching some rays in the lower bowl over there on the third base side. There's Jonathan VR. Hit it hard last time. Gashed a line drive to center right at Michael A. Taylor. Edwin starts him off with a breaking ball. Rendon shallow at third. 2-0 pitch up in the zone for a strike.
He's swinging hard right here in a 3-1 count. See where they go. They've been trying to jam VR with the fastball in the cut fastball. I think they're going in there again.
And into a pop-up it goes, but it's out of play left side. Three-two, bases empty, 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. Nats looking forward to the top of the order here shortly. Edwin with a long look in there. Here he comes. In there. He looked in there and then he pitched in there. Strikeout number 5. 5 in a row for Edwin Jackson. Trey Turner and then Defoe and Murph straight ahead.
Lead off for the Nationals. Turner missing a couple months due to that broken bone in his wrist. But if there was a silver lining to Trey's injury, it's that their injury was to his upper body and not his legs, which allowed him to work on his lower body while he spent that time on the disabled list. Trey saying the other day that he actually used the time off to work on his running form and build his leg strength up, running a lot more over the last couple months than he had in some time. And as a result, he says his legs feel fresh and not at all sore right now after diving right back into everyday game action. I thought that was kind of interesting, guys. Turner making productive use of that DL time, improving his running technique and making sure his legs were in top shape. Says he feels fresher than he would at this point through pretty much a full season.
All right, Dan, thank you with our Coons.com sideline report. When you're talking cars, you're talking Coons.
Well, he has looked extra fast since his return, so maybe that explains it. He's even faster than he was before.
Walk and a double. So in the series, 5 out of 12. Here's Jacob Barnes, 27-year-old right-hander. Got a couple of outs in the 8th inning last night after the Nats took the lead. He retired Kendrick and Zimmerman, both on line drives, and an intentional walk to Daniel Murphy in between. So Trey hitting at .281 right now.
Yeah, Barnes really 2 pitches. Fastball 97 and a cutter slider thing at 91.
Nats box. Turner a walk in the first, 2 outs later, a Zimmerman infield hit. Next base hit, and the only other one, Turner's Left center field double off the wall. 1 out, 3rd inning. Zimmerman walked in the 4th, but a double play ball. Wiped the bases clean. Brewers on their 3rd reliever of the day, and they've done a good job against the Nats. 2-2 pitch. That's a slider down and away that was nasty. 4th K by the Milwaukee staff today. Nissan on the pitch cast.
Yeah, 92. That's his secondary pitch. The cutter slider thing. Kind of a mix between both of them when you think about it.
Wilmer Difo 0 for 2 and 1 for 1 with an RBI career against Jacob Barnes. Tapper right side. Pitcher's going to get over there and just run to the bag. He knew if he didn't get that ball, it was a hit. Murphy with 2 outs, bases empty. And Daniel Murphy's been in the middle of everything for the ball club offensively this year. 20 of the 185 homers. So the Nats approaching the mark of 2012 and the all-timer last year, 203. All brought to you by Jeep.
He's in a little bit of a rut right now, but he's still getting his hits. I feel like he's going to get locked in right at the right time. I think it's the first time we've seen Daniel even come close to scuffling as a National. That's why it looks kind of odd at times when he's swinging at pitches you don't see him swinging at. But hey, it's baseball. That's the way it goes. Nobody can be perfect every single day for 2 straight years.
Yeah.
Feel like he's kind of up off of his legs more than normal, and you don't know what guys have. Everybody's dinged up this time of year if it's a lower half thing or something's going on. But you know, when we see him at his best, he's really on his legs and kind of in almost a Wilmer Difo crouch, if you will, but not quite as much as Wilmer. But right now he's not sitting down like he normally has. Kind of standing up more.
2-1. Not able to get to a couple of low pitches in this AB.
And he hits with his lower half. We could talk about his swing and how he likes to hit the ball in the air all we want. Daniel Murphy's pop is from the waist down and always has been. He's got, you know, tree trunks for legs, and that's what he hits with, the base. And right now he's kind of standing up out of it, and you just, hey, he'll figure it out. Not worried at all.
Three and two. Swing and a miss. So 2 Ks for Jacob Barnes in the 6th. And the Nats bats quiet so far, but at this point last night they were too. Dusty waiting for some offense. And meanwhile, Edwin Jackson, 77 pitches, 53 strikes. Embarks on his 6th inning of work. Walker, Braun, and Shaw. Same 2 guys who led off 2 innings ago when things got rough. Back-to-back doubles, and then a little further down the order, Domingo Santana with another home run. Footnote on the Milwaukee pitching staff in this series: 33 innings. They've given the Nats 18 hits. Just over 3.5 games worth so far. But we saw some late inning lightning to win a game last night. Jackson throws it by Walker. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Loud sound, high drive, right center. Short hops the wall. And now Neil Walker has consecutive doubles.
You're just wondering, is this out of here or not? Kind of looked like Chase Utley a little bit on that swing. Quick bat, double in the gap. So Neil Walker's having a nice day. Struck out his first time, but back-to-back doubles, and now Ryan Braun going to try to do what he did last time. And Edwin Jackson, they're going to try to keep the ball in, so he can't do that.
That was Braun's 2nd hit of the series, his 2nd run batted in. There's one on the inside edge. And again, Edwin got in on him, so there's the pop up to center. 2 good pitches. Taylor, 1 out. Travis Shaw is next. Brewers box, Santana. Long homer in the 2nd after Edwin had retired the first 4 batters. He goes deep again after Braun doubled home Walker in the 4th. So Domingo Santana, 3 of their 4 driven in today. He's on deck as Shaw steps in. Struck out looking last time, and Eddie Romero is up.
Playing catch with you. When you're hitting in the shadows like this, you know, I'm up here thinking, well, the Brewers have an advantage because they do this more often with the roof on day games, but I don't think it's anything you ever get used to as a hitter. You can see the fastball. What you can't see is the seams that you try so hard as a hitter to pick up on the off speed. That's what you look for, the rotation of the pitch. You tell the rotation by the seams. And off-speed plays in shadows because you can't pick up the seams. You can see a straight fastball. You know that. I mean, it does look a little more firm when the ball isn't as bright and it's kind of gray. But it's so hard to pick up the red on the white on the baseball when there's shadows like this. It just looks like a gray blob coming at you. Yeah, last pitch, I can't see it.
And that one off the mitt of Jose Lobaton, who didn't look like he got that in the location he was expecting. They'll probably give him a pass ball on it.
Well, he probably didn't see it either. I think it was the same pitch. That was a good look at what the hitter's seeing. Maybe we can see that a few more times with the sun in the background and then the shadows. That's kind of what they're seeing. He got caught by the late movement of that and flipping his glove over or not.
2-1 count. Now the infield in. Nats cannot afford to give up any more runs.
Yeah, you have time with Neil Walker at 30. I mean, he's not a burner.
Lobaton the block, ball 3. On a pitch up, drilled to right. Defoe, though, caught flat-footed, had to go back for that ball, and no chance to get much on the throw. 5-0.
For a split second there, I thought that was over Wilmer's head. Had a nice last-second adjustment. And I don't think he throws him out if he gets behind that anyways. That was too deep. Nice at bat by Shaw. 5-0.
Travis Shaw, 84th run batted in. All right, here's Santana. Twice in a row deep to left center.
I think either avoid him here with what Thames has done on deck, or you make him beat you the other way. One of the two.
Inside the Numbers brought to you by PNC. So one of the 2 Brewers homers today on a 2-strike count. They do it more than anybody.
Yeah, but what do they hit with 1 strike?
That remains a mystery.
There's the graphic of the year last night. The Nats, where they lead all of baseball with their batting average with 1 strike. Ooh.
Two balls, 2 strikes.
Well, the first one was an off-speed pitch up out over the plate for home run number 23, and then home run number 24 was a fastball. There's the first one. And then you go to the 4th inning and second at bat. That was a heater that was supposed to be away, leaked back over the plate. This one just got out.
Two, good-looking pitch, and some infielders were heading for the dugout.
Ooh. A lot of oohs and ahs here with the crowd, too. That was close.
Yeah. Mercedes-Benz on the pitch cast. The entire at bat. Vic Carapazza got it right. Low. Edwin Jackson's first walk of the day. Dusty had Enny Romero ready a while ago for Eric Thames, and that'll be the lefty-lefty matchup here. So Jackson to go 5 2/3. He's given up 5, responsible possibly for 1 more. The telecast is presented by authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals.
That's the best disclaimer ever. Look at the parents there, the proud parents. I like on Sundays when they go with the cocktail wieners. That's awesome.
Yeah, that was a real race.
It was.
I mean, you know, sometimes Thursday, Friday doesn't look like a full effort to me, but today was pedal to the metal.
Well, they're out there tailgating too.
Enny Romero is back. It'll be his 46th appearance, 49 hits, 57 strikeouts in 47 innings.
His fastball this year, get this, is average 98. And he'll throw an occasional slider and cutter with it, but 98 on average for the Enny Romero fastball.
So Kean Broxton for Eric Thames. They wouldn't have thought about pinch hitting for Thames earlier this year, but it's happening regularly now. Runner goes, and there was no chance for Jose Lobaton on that one. Santana, a slugger with 12 steals now.
Yeah, Jose's been working on being a little bit more deliberate and over the top with his throws to get something on it, but that one was stole off Enny Romero. No chance for Lobaton to even contribute there. I mean, you throw one wide like that, you figure as a base runner, they're not throwing over again, right? He's not going to take a chance of throwing one down the right field line, so that's a good gamble there by Santana.
Two and two. And this one to left, backing up Howie Kendrick, didn't have the sound, and he's got it well in front of the track. Enny Romero for the final out of the 6th inning. The Nats, Zim, Rendon, Kendrick coming. Brought to you by T-Mobile. Corey Kluber up to his old tricks, and he's one of the big reasons the Indians are about to win their 11th in a row. 7-1. He's getting into October form here. The Dodgers have lost 7 of 8. Not too many people concerned about that. Joe Mauer of the Twins coming alive, and nobody really talking about Minnesota. They're in the middle of the wild card race in the American League. They are second in the wild card behind the Yankees, a game and a half up on the Angels. So here we go, top 7 in Milwaukee. Keon Broxton stays into play center. That moves Jonathan Villar to second. That moves Neil Walker to first. Still out there, Jacob Barnes, 12 pitches, 7 strikes, and a 1-2-3 sixth. He got Ryan Zimmerman last night, but not before a moment of concern. Ryan hit a line drive back at him off his body. He was able to pick it up and throw Ryan out.
He's seen more fastballs up and in this series than he's seen all year combined. There's another one right there at 98.
And then away. Whether the slider or a heater. Just beyond the 3 o'clock mark here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Brewers in the thick of the National League wild card race. Nats trying to knock the magic number down some more. Last time I looked at the scoreboard, Marlins and Phillies were tied. It sits at 13 for your Nats, and that's up and away.
I mean, how cool is it that we get to talk about magic numbers every year?
Yeah, it's the 3rd of September.
Don't take that lightly. That's not a small thing. I mean, you know, everybody on the internet, on Twitter, has the magic number thing going. We get to talk about it on the air. There's a lot of cities that never get to talk about magic numbers. And it seems like yearly we do. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool. Nats trying to win their 83rd of the year. Phillies Marlins 1-1, top 10 at Marlins Park. Diamondbacks have an early lead, 1-0 at Colorado. Brewers a chance to be a half game back in the wild card at the end of the day. And then the team chasing Milwaukee, St. Louis, has to face Madison Bumgarner today. (3-2) to Ryan Zimmerman. Down low, and the strikeout. 3 Ks in 4 batters for Jacob Barnes.
All right, Nats Pass returns for the final month of the regular season, offering fans all 13 September home games for just $65. So the Phillies, Braves, Dodgers, and Pirates in standing room areas at Nats Park for a low price. Visit nationals.com/Nats Pass today. I got stuck on the lows. I couldn't get out. Sorry.
And more.
Stuck.
Brewers have pitched Anthony Rendon well in this series. He's 1 for 9 with a walk.
So either ghosts get in free in this section today or something's going on there. I think it's haunted. That's the haunted section here at Miller Park where all the ghosts sit.
Well, it's not because of the roof leaking. It's open. Yeah, they've got it taped off, that whole section. Anthony Rendon, a towering fly ball to short left. Ryan Braun, 2 outs in the 7th.
Do the Brewers have a band that's getting ready for a halftime thing, maybe?
I don't know. I don't know if Howard University has a big marching band, but they may have a lot more members Monday. Our second congrats to them this afternoon.
Dude, you are stuck on that story. You love it. You talked about it all breakfast.
I think it's great. I love things that disrupt the hierarchy. And I know you don't like this, but wasn't this like the 10th anniversary of the Appalachian State win at Michigan?
That's great, though.
So, you know, every 10 years, look out.
Yeah.
One of you big boys.
I don't think UNLV's up there with Michigan, though, as far as upsets go. I don't think of them as a powerhouse in college football.
No, you're right.
Good place to go for 3 days, though.
A lot of people who had bets on that game looking at yachts today. 0-2 to Kendrick. Jacob Barnes due to bat 3rd in the 7th, trying to close out another 2 innings of solid relief from their bullpen guys today.
What if someone hits a home run in that section? Does he just sit there?
That would be interesting.
That would be interesting.
Could get ugly.
I'm told there's some broken glass from a clock in that section. That's why it's evacuated.
Could someone have hit that in batting practice?
Maybe,
that big clock above there?
Yeah, it's a good call. That would be a poke, though.
Yeah. Kendrick extending, and Howie able to stay alive here in the 7th.
Although nobody hit today, so that theory's out the window. Good try. Apparently there's no brooms here.
Well, if they would have won the first 3, there would be. Swing and a miss. So 4 Ks for Barnes, and piecing a staff together, Brewers are doing well. Navy Federal Credit Union, proudly serving the armed forces and their families for over 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA. So to the bottom of the 7th we go on a fast-moving afternoon here in Milwaukee. Pena, Arcia, and then you would think another pinch hitter from Craig Counsell's bench. Eddie Romero still out there.
Washington area Toyota dealers help children and their families by making a $37 donation to the Children's Inn at NIH for every strikeout by a Nats pitcher this season. So I got some data here on Eddie Romero's fastball this year. Get this, he's thrown 194 heaters before today at 98. He's thrown 163 fastballs at 99. He's thrown 84 at 100. 84 fastballs, triple digits. He's thrown 18 at 101, and he's thrown 1 at 102 miles an hour.
Can't be a comfortable at bat from either side.
In the shadows, 100, go get him.
Manny Pena, the catcher. Fly ball to right, fly ball to left. Arcia, the shortstop, is next. Brewers on top, 5-0. They've out hit the Nationals. 5-2. They have 2 homers, 3 doubles today. Got to root for a guy like Manny Pena, 30 years old, 12 years in the minor leagues with Texas, Kansas City, Seattle, Detroit, and of course the Brewers.
I think that was a slider. Can't be easy to see right now. Yeah.
Yeah, now the windows under the roof on the west side of the ballpark coming into play soon. Two.
Good battle going on right here. Double barrels in the Brewers bullpen.
Junior Guerra, Anthony Swarzak. They've gotten 7 scoreless innings out of Suter, Jefferson, Barnes with 2 hits. So a vertical matchup here. Nissan on the pitch cast. 3-2 again. And Eddie misses upstairs.
Just where if you're pitching for the ground ball, you got to have confidence in that cut fastball and slider down the zone. If not, you just try to overpower them with the heater. But when you think of guys that throw triple digits, you don't think of ground balls.
Jesus Aguilar on deck. Arcia line drive to Zimmerman. Ground ball to short.
I always felt too like a less aggressive approach was better with shadows in these conditions as a hitter.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't hit what you can't see.
So your point is reaction time a lot shorter.
Yeah. And why fight it? Just hope he throws you 4 before he throws you 3. 4 balls before he throws you 3 strikes. And all the while try to look really hitterish. You know, like roll up your sleeves and spit at him and stare at him like, yeah, let's do this. But you're really taken.
Lobatone setting up inside and to pitch low. So any 5 pitches, 3 strikes to get Broxton ending last inning. Sat down for a few minutes, right back out there and throwing a lot of pitches here. Fastball up, unreachable. And Arcia hurt himself on the tail end of that swing.
And 99 miles an hour overpowered him. And he trying to shake off the rust, get back in that strike zone. But look at pitch cast. Only 1 of the 5 in the strike zone. So Arcia trying to get something to show for the day. Ends up chasing one. Looked like he twisted his ankle there. Or did he hit it with the bat? He hit it with the bat. That's a rough at bat right there. Strike out and smoke yourself with the lumber. Watch the backswing, right? I mean, he didn't hit that hard, did he? Am I missing something there?
I think it looked slower on the Exmo, but that was not a cut down 2-strike swing either. Like you alluded to earlier, might be the best recipe here. So here's big, strong Jesus Aguilar, 14 homers, 46 RBIs. 14 out of 50 pinch hitting with 3 homers and 10 batted in.
I guess right on the ankle bone wouldn't feel good even if it was that soft.
Clean single to left. So he has 15 pinch hits on the year now. Adam Lind has 14. Ichiro's right around 2 dozen. And the Brewers have 2 on 1 out with Neil Walker, pardon me, Jonathan VR next. Walker after him. Now Matt Grace is up. Probably for Travis Shaw if he would get up later in the inning. VR 0 for 1 against any Romero.
You get a ground ball if you stay down there. That's a good pitch.
Bounces and Lobatone blocks it.
Ennie's tempo is slower than I remember today. Maybe he's trying to knock the rust off and get comfortable back on that big league mound, but I don't remember him working this slow.
So a 1-2 coming, infield at double play depth, and he goes well outside and up, and VR a bit out of control on that one. His hot bat cools off. 0 for 4 today, 2 down.
A fastball away, 98, little arm side run to it. Probably looking like 198 at this point.
Neil Walker, back-to-back doubles, 2 runs scored. A setup guy in big fashion for their power guys to follow. Braun, Shaw, and Santana, the 3 hitters behind him, all have runs batted in. Pena walked to start the inning. 1 out later. Aguilar pinch hit single.
Hundred. '85th pitch at 100 this year for Ennie. Watching that Marlins Phillies game, keeping an eye on it just to make sure. That's going to the top of the 11th, tied at 1.
Yeah.
See if that magic number slips down 1 before this one's over.
Left side, Turner plants and throws and makes it look ridiculously easy. 2 stranded, 3 in the game for Milwaukee. Michael A. Taylor, Lobatone, pitcher spot coming up. Now, last night it was the same way, but the score was a whole lot closer. So the Nats will take some swings, see what they can make out of these last 6 outs. And we're about to see Adam Lind pinch it behind Taylor, it appears.
Well, Michael Taylor got it started last night, so he's about to lead this thing off. But it's been kind of a lackluster day for the Nats, and you figure, you know, a lot of different pitchers trying to figure out different guys. You can't really get a game plan as a hitter when you're facing a different pitcher every at-bat, but 6 outs left to play with, and keep an eye on that Marlins game. Maybe that magic number goes down.
And Eddie Romero doesn't give up a whole lot. He throws 30-some pitches. So as FP said, shaking off some rust, and he's back. So the 8th inning last night, it was a closer game, but look what this guy did.
First pitch heater, ambush to the max. A Michael A. Tater off Josh Hader. And you said see you later. And that's all I got. He was hitting balls halfway up the scoreboard in center field in batting practice yesterday.
Anthony Swarzak, 4th Milwaukee pitcher of the day. Saw him in the 8th inning here on Thursday. He gave up a triple to Turner, a Worth grounder for a run. So in that first batter department. And Michael A. Taylor, that ball was cutting away from him.
Well, you remember how he got hot before he got hurt? It was swinging early in the count, and he was running into base hits and doubles and homers. And then as the confidence grew and the relaxation came with getting results, he started to become more patient and getting into counts and then doing damage. So I think he's trying to kind of do the same recipe right here. Be aggressive early, get yourself some hits. And then once you start feeling confident about your timing and your swing, then you can go deep into counts.
Check swing, couldn't stop. Right-hander for the Nats, Austin Adams. In line for his 2nd big league appearance.
Close.
And he's going to get the outside call, the outside edge call. Michael walked away, stopped, and then stopped again before finally leaving. And he never says anything to any umpire.
Well, it looked like it was a little bit off. But look at the whole sequence, though. You take one close one, it's tough to take 2. And even though that was outside the pitch cast box, and Michael A. didn't like it. You can see Dusty in the background. He didn't like it either.
Former Brewer Adam Lind looking for his first base hit in this series. And Rowdy Reed about to get his first big league at bat, and then he might stay in and catch an inning. So with the shift on, a 1-2 pitch coming. And Lynn started the bat and able to pull it back.
It just seems like right when that shadow is going to get to somewhere where you can see the ball again, this other sunspot from the windows is going to start to affect your vision. That's why it was critical to do damage early in this game today. You knew with the roof open that late it was going to be tough.
Lynn down on strikes.
Watch the drive to the pennant with MLB.tv every night on every device. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. So he's going to go out there and say, this guy likes to swing early. He's got power to all fields. So be careful here.
And all that based on minor league information. Rowdy Reed is 23 years of age. Nationals signed him at the age of 18. In his minor league career, hitting just over 250. And his career caught stealing percentage as a minor league catcher, 37%. Very good. 17 homers, 61 RBIs. At Double-A Harrisburg this year with 25 doubles.
He throws real well. So first major league at bat. Here we go.
That one, some late dip to it from Swarzak. Rowdy, 6 foot 170, San Jose de Ocoa of the Dominican Republic.
Same pitch.
Strike 3 to Michael A. Taylor, ball 2 to this batter.
Same pitch he just struck out on. Well, maybe the umpires are having trouble seeing it too.
Two outs, bases empty, hitters count. And he's all in up the middle, but that's where they had him played. How did they know that? Nats go 1, 2, 3 in the 8th. Seen his offense is able to generate nothing against 4 Milwaukee pitchers so far. And about our next 5 ball games. TBA on the mound against Adam Conley. WUSA 9 with us for Labor Day evening tomorrow. It'll be Steven Strasburg, Odrisamer Despaigne Tuesday. Gio, Dylan Peters Wednesday. And finally back home, you're looking at the first 2 of a 4-game set with the Phillies. So Austin Adams will get his second big league appearance here. His first was in a lopsided game in Cincinnati. He had a very rough debut. Hopefully, in those 44 games down there at Syracuse, picked up a few things and ready to get some major league batters out here. Braun, Shaw, and Santana. 3, 4, 5 in the 8th.
Fastball 96, slider 86, occasional changeup at 88. So there's your battery, Rowdy Reed and Austin Adams. Slider.
So in the big leagues at the age of 26. 1-1. And Braun with the defensive swing getting around late.
All the hitters are taking defensive swings.
Jammed him, but it's well placed. Turner can't do much about it. Base hit, Ryan Braun.
Right, even if Trey fields this normal and throws it, it was just on the ground so long, and Ryan Braun can still run a little bit. This was a base hit as soon as it got by Adams. Kind of fell off the mound of the first base side. Turner way over to pull and no shot. Even if he fields this standing up, no shot. That ball just hit soft enough in the right spot for an infield single.
Two 2-0 to Travis Shaw. Sac fly last time up 2 innings ago on that line drive to Defoe. So 0 for 10 this weekend with 1 batted in.
So Danny Espinosa was let go by the Mariners after he was let go by the Angels, and he's part of this deal you're looking at right here. Did he catch on with anybody? Tampa? Is that right?
On the outside edge, ball coming back. Adams was originally drafted by Milwaukee in 08. Went to college later by the Indians. Full count here. Ryan Braun at first, short lead, not going anywhere, and that's way outside. Mike Maddox, a settle him down visit to the mound coming.
All right, follow Masson Nationals on Twitter for the latest giveaways, team news, and Masson All Access segments. That's Masson Nationals on Twitter. Masson Nationals on Twitter. I'll put an H in there. Sounds better. Masson.
Trying to settle the youngster down, and next up is their big slugger of the day. He's been on 3 times. A walk and a steal last time after a pair of homers. Good for 3 runs out of Milwaukee's 5 today. Good heater running to the inner half. Off the glove of Rowdy Reed, and the runners stay.
I mean, these are easy takes. If you're going to miss, I mean, they got to be competitive pitches, and right now they're not. Probably just a little nervous. Hadn't been out there a whole lot in the big league level. Take a deep breath and, I mean, go right after them best you can.
Two. And Adams facing his 8th big league hitter, trying to get the first out. Look out, Ed Cedar, longtime Brewers bench coach, pardon me, base coach, ducking for that hot shot.
He barely moved. He just kind of lowered his helmet and went over his head.
Yeah, a lot of coaches in this situation, they're looking at the runner at second base and nothing else.
Got to roll your head.
Bases loaded, nobody out. So next up is Keon Broxton, who came in to pinch hit in the 6th, stayed to play center field, and he's up there with the bases loaded, nobody out. And the Brewers a chance to put a big time exclamation point on this game and put the Nats away in the 8th.
I mean, this team, although it doesn't look like it today, has the firepower to come back from 5-0 with 3 outs left.
That would be a good score in the top of the 9th right now.
But anything more, and well, it'd be more than hard.
Matt Grace, last thing Dusty wanted to do in this 8th inning is have to use more than one pitcher. Hot shot to short. Turner's going to come home. keeping that 5-0 score in mind and maybe giving up a double play, but not the worst thing.
No, I mean, you have to stop the bleeding. In a weird play, how often do you see a ground ball to deep short thrown all the way home, kind of looping like that to get the force out at home? Look where Trey's playing. So he got the one hopper. Everybody had to freeze because the ball was in the air for a while. He just launches it to Rowdy Reed at home for the first out. All right. Ground ball, you're out of here.
Next up, the catcher, Manny Pena. And there was no contact by the bat. Everybody froze. And then the runner came home, and it's 6-0.
It hit Vic Carapaz in the head. I don't think I've ever seen that happen before. He says, I'm all right. I don't think he's happy about it.
Oh, my goodness.
Put him right in the coconut. Is there a cross up there? He didn't see it. Something happened. He just fanned on the ball. Huh. Is that a pass ball or what?
Pass ball on Rowdy Reed for no contact. Slider, and he smothers it. So second and third, infield in. Strike call, 2-1. Two and a foul. Fly ball to left. Howie Kendrick setting up for a throw. He's going to launch one, but had no chance. Rendon cuts it off, and it's 7-0. Orlando Arcia is next.
Phillies are up 3-1 in the 12th. I mean, you potentially could come in here, lose 3 out of 4, and have your magic number go from, what was it we got here, 16 to 12?
Yeah, it was 16 on Thursday.
I mean, this isn't the worst thing that's ever happened to a team that's 15 games up. And then you get to go to Miami and double it, maybe, if you beat the Marlins a couple of times.
Not sure who's pitching yet. Adam Conley is going for the Marlins. And a tapper right side, Ryan Zimmerman. Adams hustling over to cover. Ryan gives him a perfect feed. Brewers pick up 2. 7-0. 3 outs to go, top of the order. fireworks in store. Johnny Holiday and Ray Knight are in the studio today. It's our Nats Extra postgame show presented by W.B. Mason. Not bad seats. Junior Guerra for the Milwaukee Brewers. It'll be his first relief appearance of the year. He's made 13 starts, 56 hits in 62 innings, 50 strikeouts, but 39 walks.
Well, make him throw strikes. Fastball 92, slider 81. Split is the out pitch at 84.
Trey Turner getting things rolling here. New catcher, Jet Bandy.
They have a couple movie names on their team.
Turner to the right side. This will be over the screen.
Domingo Santana sounds like a movie character in a baseball movie. Jet Bandy does. Harry Doyle's their radio broadcaster next door, so makes sense. There's Harry. Uke. Caught up with Uke yesterday. He's the best.
Trey 1 for 2 with the walk today. Can't get that one down and away. That's a 10th strikeout by Milwaukee pitching this afternoon. Wilmer Defoe and Daniel Murphy trying to make something out of this day, the two remaining.
Trying to check in with the knock, both of them.
Dropping in.
I liked it. Wilmer stepped out right there. Wasn't ready. Step out. Trying to rush you. I think you're going with the split here again.
Two down on strikeouts. Murphy is next. Crowd of 36,000, 937 today. So the Nats the possibility of going the last 6 2/3 of this game without a hit, unless Murphy can come through. Last base hit, Trey Turner's 3rd inning double off the left center field wall. Ryan Zimmerman, an infield hit back in the 1st. And a 2-0 is low. To first goes Daniel Murphy.
All right, the greatest 2-out rally ever started with a walk to Daniel Murphy. I'm sticking to it.
I knew you were coming with that, and it never gets old.
Well, I'm sure it does, but it's worked a few times too.
Yeah.
This would be something with 2 outs, though, if they throw an 8 spot up.
Zimmerman deep to left. See you later. Number 30 for Ryan Zimmerman. He makes it to that mark for the 2nd time in his career.
All right.
33 in 09 and 30 here in 17. And his RBI total jumps up to 91.
Hey, that's a big deal. Number 30. Squared it up, fastball up. That go in the Brewers bullpen. Where'd this land? He needs to get that ball.
Hit the back wall back there.
Yeah, somebody got to grab that for him. That's number 30. Congratulations, Ryan Zimmerman. 30 and 91 now.
Rendon is next, and he's up hacking. That 2nd home run of this series. Taylor deep last night. Nats have hit 18 home runs now, actually 17 in the last 27 games since Bryce Harper got hurt. So it's not a total drought, but the rate of home runs has gone down. And a 2-1 to Rendon here. They got the baseball.
They got it? Oh.
Maybe.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Counts 2-2 now.
All right, this just happened. There it is.
Well done, Miller Park security staff.
And the bullpen guys for the Brewers.
Thank you. Yeah, they could have tossed it up to some fans.
Phillies won. Magic number's 12.
Fly ball to right, and the Brewers now the possibility of being a game back in the Wild, half game back at the end of the day. So the Nats magic number as we play in Miami tomorrow night will be 12. Zimmerman homers, magic number goes down. It's about as good as you can feel about a 7-2 loss.